You know what time it is. You're listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Everything Commanders pregame show, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. The Washington Commanders are home, and they will be taking on the Cleveland Browns. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by my co-host, George. What is good, George?
Oh, man, I'm so excited for this one today because it's a trap game, yes, but if they win this game, we can start dreaming big around here if they win this game today.
I know that's right, but real quick, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And excuse me. And also make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. Also like this video. All right. Also, our pregame is streaming on the Urban Sports Scene X handle. So if you're on X, check out the Urban Sports Scene X handle. All right, here's the rundown. Here's what we have on tap. We'll chat with Bowie TV's Commanders reporter Candi Waller. She'll be joining us live from Northwest Stadium. It's still foreign to say Northwest Stadium. I'm not gonna lie to you. We'll talk about who needs to step up with Noah Brown being out. We'll also talk about the keys for the Commanders' victory and provide our predictions. And finally, we'll select our Commanders fantasy football selection for the day. All right, live from Northwest Stadium, we got Bowie TV's Commanders reporter Candi Waller on. What is good, Candi?
Hey, everybody. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, you're perfect. You sound perfect, Candi. What's
All
good?
right. Okay, what's up, y'all? What's up? Happy week 5.
Happy week 5, man. Everybody's hyped. Left hand up. Who are we, the Commanders? I hate that song, but all right, what's up, Mike? Said, let's go. It's game day. Deluxe, what's up, baby? Let me guess. Wole, you betting on? Yes, I am. Every game I bet against them, we win. Let's go. All right.
That's exactly my answer too.
Blessings. Mike says blessings to you, Candi.
Michael,
give you some love too.
Hello.
All right, so let's get into it. So, Candi, first off, any notable inactives and actives?
I think the notable active is everybody's been wanting to see Defoe, and he is active.
Yeah.
Also of note, Brian Robinson Jr. was having some knee issues last week. He is active, as is Percy Butler. Mm-hmm. So Tyler Owens is out, so you probably see Defoe a lot on special teams, but we'll see how he gets worked into the defensive reps as well. Okay. So I think those are the notables. At least for me, it was like, okay, I guess Defoe will be up here soon. And there was definitely a lot of work for Percy Butler in warm-up. So I was a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, I don't think Percy's gonna be able to go. But he's active. So I think those are the notables.
George, how do you feel about that, man? He's active. You've been talking.
No, I know, and I'm kind of looking forward to it in this regard. Is that he's got to know that he's going to play with his hair on fire. I think because he's got to know that this may be his best chance to establish himself in this lineup. Because look, Owens has been great on special teams, so we know he's coming back in as soon as he's well enough to do so. So I'm going to be very interested to see how he comes out, especially on special teams, and how he plays.
Yeah. So you said Owens. Is Owens legit hurt?
Yes, he had 2 injuries last week, leaving in the Cardinals game, and it was kind of funny. He was leaving out. I was like, Tyler, you're killing my vibe a little bit. Are you doing all right? He was like, yeah. I mean, of course, they're all supposed to say I'm doing all right, but he was a little banged up, and so they thought, he would, practice and be okay, but he is out today. So.
That's crazy. My man Paul has a question about Noah Brown. So, Candi, what was the Noah Brown injury?
He's a groin injury. He was limping around today. We saw on the sideline, but he practiced on Wednesday. Because we definitely saw him practicing, and I actually made the comment that he looked really good. And so once he was not practicing on Thursday, and we saw he ended up being limited, that must have happened during practice on Wednesday because he was for sure out there and going through drills, and he looked just fine. So something must have happened after media had to go inside. But it's growing.
It's going to be interesting. So getting into getting into that in terms of Noah Brown, and I'm glad that's a good segue for you, Paul. Paul. Appreciate that. He says, who do you so for Noah Brown being injured? Who do you expect to step up with him being injured?
Bryson Tremaine. I mean, Bryson Tremaine is going to be active. That's
He's active. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Bryson is yes. I'm not even. I mean, I can look back at my phone, but
No,
Bryson is active. And we definitely saw him getting some work in.
mhm.
Um, so he's active. I was making jokes like, Bryson Tremaine breakout game. Let's go. Here we go, everybody. Bryson Tremaine, the legend of Bryson Tremaine, the training camp legend.
He's a
Yeah.
training camp legend.
And so maybe it's training camp legend day. Maybe you'll see it.
Not training camp legend day. Yeah.
De'Ami Brown and Bryson
yeah.
Tremaine go hard day. So, because I kind of gonna miss Noah today. But I was like, yes.
Okay.
Saw him getting in quite a bit of work with Jaden before the game. So.
Okay, right. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Cam said, let's get this dub. Plus, it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to your mom, Cam.
Happy birthday, Cam's mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cam's mom.
I see. Mike said for you, Katie said, I'm happy B-Rod's back. That mysterious injury had me worried. What was his actual injury again?
He said knee injury.
Just knee injury.
They kind of just left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think they lean on Austin Eckler maybe a little bit more because of that today?
Potentially, but I'm just going to tell you all. Here's what I'm gathering. Right. What I am gathering is, because even in my mind, right, it's like, okay, well, does Austin really have to come back today?
Yeah.
Right? We're going to save him up for the Ravens. Let's save everything up. B-Rob is not feeling so hot. Let's take his reps back down. Save him all for the Ravens for next week. This is not how that team operates. You can go, you going. And when you go, you're going to go hard. Mm-hmm. They're not in the business of saving anybody up. They want to put their best foot forward. If you can play, you're going to play.
Nice.
And it's not they're treating everything the same. And what was interesting, and I had a conversation just in the hallway with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn on Thursday. They, mentioned wanting to see a lot of fans here today, and I think I posted about that. But one thing that was very clear to me, even when I made a comment about the Ravens, they were like, Candi, we play the Browns on Sunday. We don't play the Ravens on Sunday, so we don't. I heard what you said, but we need to remind you jumping the gun. We got the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, and that's where we're focusing. So just to hear that, like they are really like week to week, they want to put their best guys forward. If they can play, they're going to. So.
I know they aren't thinking this way, but I look at this game as you win this game, and then it's kind of a free hit next week. I know they don't look at it that way, but it's like if they win this game, then there's not a lot of pressure on them next week, win or lose.
They are taking it absolutely seriously each and every single week. They're not. Every week is. They let me know that very directly. That's not how they think.
All right, Candi, my man Mike has a question for you. He says, Candi, is Jamin back?
Yes, he's not inactive. He's active.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking, you talking about that was an interest of mine. It actually was the attendance. After a big win against Arizona, I expect like a sellout and see mostly Commander fans there. Not a split crowd, but a mostly, like an old school Redskin Commander type of crowd, like vibe, because Jaden has brought so much like attention to the team and so much hope that I'm like, all right, this could be the game. Are there a lot of Commander fans there? Do you barely see Cleveland Brown fans there?
Well, it's kind of funny, right? Because what time is it? Everybody's in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tailgate deep. So it's supposed to be, from what I've been told, and with ticket sales as well. And I mean, again, going back to the conversation I had with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, they acknowledged. I said, well, you all know when you all were coming here as opponents, who did you mostly see? They said, oh yeah, as opponents, we mostly saw our team fans. I said, exactly. And they were like, those days has got to be over. And I'm like, well, it's going to be over once everybody has something to go. And he's just like, they should have something to come to on Sunday. They need to come on Sunday. And so the team has been hyping it up. The coaches, the staff, they've been hyping it up. So hopefully it turns out well. There is definitely a national media presence here.
Really? Okay.
So Jaden
Okay.
Daniels is getting a lot of coverage and focus. And so hopefully, I asked him last week, how's he dealing with all this, with the popularity? I think I posted that question.
Oh, did we lose? Oh, did we
Oh
lose?
man, she actually. Oh, there she is. She's back.
Are you back?
Oh, did I lose?
Yeah,
Did I
you're
lose?
good. You're back. You're back.
Briefly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I said I asked Jaden last week about how he's handling all the popularity, and he's just staying humble. He said, I can have a bad game and everybody's saying the opposite about me. So he's keeping the main thing, and he's being where his feet are. So hopefully that's
that was going to be my next question: is how was the week with all the national media? Because he's going to be on the Fox show. It's going to be him and Vic on the Fox show today. Mm-hmm. So it's had to have been a crazy week with the fact that Washington is a media darling now. Can you believe that?
It's a lot, and it makes me nervous. That's just superstitions, right? It makes me nervous. Mm-hmm. I think the key though is an organization that is very focused, right? Again, going back to the conversation I had with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, this is like off the record, but I'm not sharing this with you all because he was kind of like, make sure you tell people to come to the game. It's they're there in Ashburn. They go home to go to sleep, and then they're right back there. So they don't really have their phone. It's not that they don't hear all that we're hearing and experiencing. Mm-hmm. And I think they want to do their best to try to keep it that way, because it's a lot right now. It's a lot between the football. He threw that touchdown pass to Terry on Monday Night Football, being now at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, like all the things, and it's so hopefully they're staying focused. It's just, and here's what Adam Peters literally said to me. He said, it's just week 5.
Oh, it's true.
So everybody, there's a lot of football left to play. Don't get too carried away.
Mike mentioned this. I don't know what this is. Candi, what was the deal with Jaden in the Hall of Fame? There's a thing with Jaden.
It's the football. No, it's the football that he with the highest completions by any NFL quarterback in that football, the Terry McLaurin touchdown catch on Monday Night Football. That football is now at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Gotcha. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I love it.
Said I hope. Okay. So yeah. So Candi, real quick, give us your keys. What are your keys for Commanders victory?
So my keys, and I feel like I saw a question about the secondary. And here's
I got you. I'm gonna pull up Paul. I'll pull it up. Paul, he said, Candi, with Seymour, will the Seymour see? Will we see Seymour?
Kevon Seymour was brought up from the practice squad. Yeah. That's what I was asking about. We'll see, right? Because sometimes the safeties move into do cornerback roles. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting. Here's what I'll say. I think last week we all saw the defense take a turning point. And you all have heard me say this before. A lot of the issues that the secondary has is because the defensive line isn't finishing. You're not getting enough pressure. They're not finishing. One of the Browns' key offensive linemen is out. So they need to eat. The defensive line needs to start, but they need to continue what they started last week against Kyler Murray. And things can go very well for this team. For as much as possible, if the offense can continue to execute, be creative, and limit mistakes, they will have success. But I think, really a key, last week, I'm always going to mention Jonathan Allen. We're seeing Terry McLaurin more now, right? Yeah. But then Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, we kind of saw Dorrance Armstrong be the one to lead the defensive line charge and really starting to play the brand of football this team desires to see. But I made a comment. I said, okay, Bryson Tremaine, breakout game, Jonathan Allen, breakout game. This crowd needs to hear Jonathan Allen's name multiple times.
Yeah.
I will say he's. I mean, if anything, it's all about momentum. He had a good game against Arizona. So
He did. I mean, it was decent.
Yeah, so he's trending upward. No. I know you were. I'm saying like it's for him. It's trending upwards.
Oh yes, for sure.
So it's like now.
Yes.
For him, definitely for him, it's like he needed a good. I think he needed a good game, and I think that game, like anything, like now maybe he can stack some of these things up.
I don't know if you all saw it on the TV version, but there was at one point in the game where he gave Duran a hug, and it looked like he was relieved.
Yeah,
it really looked like JA was relieved, like we got to get here, we can get here. Yeah. So I think if we see them with that trajectory, I think that was the spark, like knew you can do this. And then that helps. If you noticed, when the defensive line really started getting pressure, look how much better it made the linebackers look. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good
point. And then the secondary didn't get as much off anyway. They didn't have as many mistakes. If you really think about it, listen, when you're playing key wide receivers, it would be unrealistic for us to expect that these star receivers don't catch any footballs. Mm-hmm. It's unrealistic. Yeah. You just want to keep them like you did to Kyler Murray. I don't think this defense has gotten enough credit for what they did last week in keeping the Cardinals to 14 points.
Yeah, very good point.
Nobody's really talking about that storyline, and I've been pressing that storyline a lot because it's a major one. When you got an offense that can score, the key is keeping the other team's offense off the field, and the defense did that last week. They did a decent job.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you. Mike said, will Coleman start at left tackle today?
We'll see. I don't see why he wouldn't. I don't be honest with you on that, but he should. And they've been going back and forth with that too between he and Cornelius Lucas.
They both playing good though. They both been playing good.
They both are playing good. Yeah. Don't make me. It look crazy now, y'all. Offensive line, but they've been doing a very good job.
I agree.
Playing 5-as-1, as they like to say, and protecting their quarterback. They are taking it as their civic duty as well as their player duty to protect Jaden, and you are seeing the fruits of that labor for sure.
That's a perfect comment by Michael, because that leads into my question. Myles Garrett, that's been probably topic number one in the offensive meetings. Coleman, I'm sure, they're going to start with him, but are we going to see a lot of tight ends over there to help, chipping with the running back? What are they going to try to do to keep Myles Garrett from having a party in our backfield?
I mean, that's one of the things they talked about. I asked Coach about last week, Coach Quinn about last week, and getting Ben Sinnott involved. You all got to see a little bit of Ben Sinnott and Colson Yankoff last week. They like to hit people.
Yes.
And they don't, and these young guys, they don't care about Myles Garrett. I mean, they care.
Yeah.
But they don't. You know what I mean?
But they're not scared. They're not scared is what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Not at all.
Oh, okay. So,
Brandon Coleman held his own against Hendrickson on Monday night.
Yeah,
it's true.
He was kind of a beast, but that's the thing. Yes. Luke McCaffrey even said, as a wide receiver, you go around the walls and it has run around and hit. Yeah. So they have these words, and so they are like really enjoying punishing people. So it's making them very aggressive as a group, and so we'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed with Brandon Coleman. I'm impressed.
Yeah, you've been impressed for a while though. Like,
remember I said that?
Yeah,
I'm like, this kid, And so we'll see. Every week for me is like we'll see, because I'm like I can't believe what I'm watching.
Yeah. I'm with you. Hey, Candi, thanks for being on. I know you got a busy day. You got to go in and look at certain things, observe certain things. So appreciate you.
I was doing. My observation skills are really good. I said I need to drink this Earl Grey and this peppermint tea mix. I need to drink this every week now. I was like,
you doing ads now? Are you doing ads? Is that what you're doing?
Look, I was like, oh, I got like X-ray vision. I can see everything. I was like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
You said capital T? I used to have a connector.
It's Earl Grey, and hold on, Earl Grey and like a minty. What is this?
Minty. Okay.
It's like a peppermint tea. Gotcha. Because it was freezing in here. Mint medley. Mint medley.
There you go.
And it's mixed, So yeah, I guess the game's getting started. So.
All right, Candi, we appreciate you. All right.
Thank you, Candi.
Bye.
Thank you, Candi.
That's awesome, man. Oh, that's awesome, man. So like you said, it's definitely a big game. because you don't want to you don't want to let down after what we saw against the Cardinals. But all right, so let's get into the game though, George. The Browns' offense hasn't been great, and with a team that's offense is struggling, I think it's important to kind of keep them struggling. So how important is for this defense to start off fast and early?
Well, I mean, and there's been one big negative about this season, it's the fact that, doggone it, every stinking time the other team scored on their first possession, and they've been able to overcome it, the last 3 weeks. But you really don't want to have that with Cleveland because, like you say, they don't have a lot of confidence right now. Their offense is on the big struggle bus. They couldn't move the football consistently against the Raiders. The Raiders ain't exactly a great defense, So today is got to be the day. I had a premonition in the middle of the week. I was like, you know what? I think our defense is going to score today. And it kind of changed. It kind of changed the final score thinking that I had when we get to the predictions. But I really feel like if not today, when you got a quarterback that's playing bad, that's got everybody on his back. You got an offensive line that's struggling, and that's even before this guy that they're missing is going to be out. Today has got to be the day that this defense starts out and starts from minute one. None of this. Don't be giving up an opening score like we have first 4 weeks of the season. No, can't happen today.
I'm all about, and this is going to sound real jacked up. Sorry, I'm doing a little promoting. This is going to sound a little jacked up, but I'm all about stepping on somebody's neck when they're down.
Absolutely.
And folks know, I ain't making no secret. I like Deshaun Watson. I do. I've always been enamored with Deshaun Watson in terms of on the football field. But he down, and I want to make sure he stays down. I don't want to come up. I don't want him to come up. So I feel like as a defense, you got to hit him often. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell if you watch him on the football field, he's not sure of himself at all. So you got to put constant pressure. You know what I mean? I feel like folks like Deron Payne and Allen are in a situation where this is actually a great place, a great position to be as a pass rusher because he's going to hold the ball. He's not sure. Obviously he has weapons. It's not like he doesn't have weapons, but he's not even sure about, how he can get the ball to his weapons. So I feel like this is a great opportunity for those individuals. You want to feel good about yourself. You felt good when you played Kyler Murray. You want to feel even better about yourself. This is a good person to play against. So it's important, like you said, George, not to give up points off the rip, off the first drive. They shouldn't give up anything. I just think that you could set the tone. I know this is probably asking for a lot, but you can set the tone with a 3 and out.
Absolutely.
You can set the tone. If you get a 3 and out, I guarantee you're gonna get the woe is me situation when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I feel like you'll get a woe is me situation, and also on that secondary drive, you may get him to force the football now because now it's enough is enough, and he's gonna try to force the football. So I just feel like it's essential, for him, to start for the defense to start fast and hit him early and often. I know you can say that about every quarterback, but where his mind is at mentally at this moment, I think for him it's essential.
Yeah, they're not built to overcome a bad start. Other quarterbacks, that can happen and they can overcome it. You saw. I mean, look, you saw that with Burrow. I mean, he was, Washington stopped him a few times early, hit him a few times early, and in that second half, he was peerless. They couldn't stop him, and it just was fortunate that he came through and won the game anyway. So I totally agree with you. They're low on confidence.
Yeah. Don't
give them any reason to think that they can win this game today, because that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Team like that, low on confidence. If you jump on them 10-0, 14-0, there's a pretty good chance they're not coming back. Not unless you make some huge mistake and give them a touchdown, turning it over, whatever. So I'm totally with you on that. Has to be a good start for this defense. Don't give Deshaun Watson any reason to think, because one thing he'll probably remember that game in 2022 and say, okay, I've come onto this stadium and played well. Yeah. So don't give him that thought. Don't let him think he can pull that kind of stuff again.
Yeah, just don't have him just treat him like he's been playing.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. Treat him like
absolutely.
Dan just said defense got to get to Watson consistently and apply pressure. Agree. I think once you get,
and I think they will today. I think they will today, Danilo. I think that's right.
I think that Joe Witt we'll dial up some pressure because I just don't think he trusts his eyes, to be honest with you. And if you watch that Cowboys game and how often they blitzed him, you could tell like you can get to him. You can definitely get to him. The keys today is defense got to get to the quarterback, turnovers, and stopping the run. Agree with that. Definitely stopping the run. Stopping the run is the first thing. You got to take that away from him first. You know what I mean? You got to take that away from him early and often. My man Dandon also put I think Zacchaeus will have a good game with the double coverage on McLaurin. So I don't think McLaurin's gonna get doubled. He's been contributing very well because they have Ward. They don't think they're gonna double McLaurin. They'll play him one-on-one.
And you know,
Ward is one of the best cornerbacks in football. They're not gonna double McLaurin.
And you know Jim Schwartz is going to be coming up with some crazy blitzes and exotic things. I mean, in a sense, this is like the perfect game for Jaden to play now because you've not played a defense this good yet. So in a sense, you've been able to kind of ease your way in, even though Tampa Bay did a little bit of a number on him. But now, oh man, what a test of his ability to diagnose, to figure out what the defense is coming with, and to figure out how to beat it. What a test this is for Jaden Daniels today.
Yeah, it's just like you're learning every day. You get better every day. This is what's been cool about Jaden Daniels is that growth and like he's in the classroom every week. So like you said, this is the best talent-wise. This is the best defense you've seen.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, you got Myles Garrett.
He's going to be one of the best DCs all year. Let's be honest.
That too, and you have Myles Garrett, who for the tackles, this is the best. This is the best defensive end they've seen. I don't care if he's hurt. This is the best defensive end they've seen. This is a defensive MVP. This is they haven't seen nothing compared to this dude. Then you have like you talking about like in terms of DB play, Ward is probably the best DB they've seen already. So they have a lot going on for this game. And I just feel like, and linebackers, we already know what they have at linebacker. My Nigerian brother who gets money.
Usu Koromoa, the guy I was in an alternate universe. That's the guy we would have taken in round 2 for that draft.
So, I mean, it's a talented defense. It's a talented defense. I mean, that's one thing. I don't now if they tear up if they tear up this defense, it's going to be very interesting. They
dude,
Cleveland plays 41% man on every. I know because they have the defense
because they got the corners to do it.
They have the corners to do it. That's why I'm not.
I've seen a few people saying that they're going to get a lot of points if they get 30 plus against this defense. The lid is off. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm going to be reckless. Everybody on the internet's going to be reckless if this team has has an offensive explosion against this defense.
I agree, Paul. Watch out for Washington go after. They shouldn't be going after Ward. I'll tell you that much. They shouldn't. Dan, and I hope this is the game they showcase Ben Sinnott. It's time for him to get some catches and opportunities. Well, if he's open and he's doing work.
Well, but I think Candi makes a good point. Ben Sinnott doesn't just like blocking; he relishes it.
He's a good blocker.
And can you see a scenario where Ben Sinnott's helping out on Myles Garrett and he gets to put his shoulder in Myles Garrett? I'm kind of looking forward to that myself. See how that goes.
You can. It's still Myles Garrett. He's seen it all.
But that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is different. It's like going against Reggie White. It's going against.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going. Name your great defensive end of the path.
Against I'm having a moment.
LT,
the guy from Pittsburgh, my guy.
Watt.
It's like going against Watt. Like you're not. They've seen it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like, you can touch him all you want, but it's not. I expect a player like that to make a few plays. You know what I mean? It's about containing that individual. So it's not. As much as I like Hendrickson, he's not. Hendricks is not Myles Garrett. Mike said if we beat this defense, which is better than we gone against, other than Tampa, people can't say much or nothing. Much of nothing. Excuse me. You know what, Mike? I mean, this defense to me is better than Tampa's defense. Tampa
I agree with that.
Better. I think Tampa's. I mean, it's more of an aggressive scheme, though. You know what I mean? Because of what Todd Bowles puts out there in terms of like putting pressure on the quarterback, dialing up blitzes and whatnot. The Browns have a certain style where they trust their front four, and they do bring pressure. You already got one. You got one of the arguably top 3 defenders in football. Myles Garrett. So yeah, I just think that they do pose a vicious threat. And to your point, if they score against this defense, I think I'm with you. You know what I mean? Because I think the reason why the Cowboys scored a lot against this defense was because the offense was so putrid that they had opportunities to score on this defense. Now, if our offense does the same thing again, then I totally agree. Like if our offense, if our defenses can play as well as the Cowboys defense did against the Browns, I think we could score a lot against them too as well. So it's because football, it's hand in hand. You know what I mean? It is a team sport. If your offense is trash and your defense is good, but they're on the field a lot, you can now start to wear out that defense.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you. My man, Jay and Daniels Fanatic said on IG said Judy, Coop can burns us. Let's lock in. Yeah, that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
That can happen. They do have. Let's talk about Coop. Yeah, we know about Coop, man. That's a good segue. Jay, that's a good segue for what we want to do right now. All right, man. We already know about Amari Cooper. All right.
Way more than we ever want to know. Let's be honest.
When he's with the Cowboys, he got us. When he came, that game you were referring to with Watson coming down here and beating us. And, but Amari had another big play in that game. Amari had a touchdown.
He did.
Amari killed us that game. What would you want to see them? How would you want them to cover Amari going into this game? How would you want them to cover Amari?
I kind of go to what Candi said because she's so right. Part of what's going to help us against Amari is our front getting after Watson, getting him on the ground, sacking him. That's going to be a lot of it because, we're going to probably roll our coverage towards Cooper. No question about it. I'm sure he's going to be double teamed a bit. But look, that Jerry Jeudy's a pretty good receiver himself. Yeah. So if you're leaving a corner one-on-one with him, it could be pretty tough. So I think what Candi said about relying on the front to kind of help the secondary out, I think it's even more of a key today than in other games because we all know what Amari Cooper's done. We talked about it. If you tuned into All Burgundy and Gold everything on Thursday night, we talked about it a little bit when we were talking about the Devontae Adams trade. This guy, whatever uniform he's wearing, he loves lining up against the Burgundy and Gold. So we're going to roll our coverage, but we can't do too much of that because of Jerry Jeudy. It's got to be our front getting to Watson, getting him to throw the ball away or getting him on the ground so you can't get that ball to Cooper, especially down the field.
Danny said defense needs to watch out for David and Njoku too.
So is he in today? Because I thought he might be missing again today. Am I wrong about that?
I think he's playing.
Okay. Yeah, Njoku's.
Yeah,
I liked Njoku since he was at Miami. He's big time talent.
He should be playing unless something changed. He was back to play unless something changed. So back to Cooper. They're gonna give him a touchdown, so it doesn't really matter. Like they do that every week. Yeah, he's active. I thought so. He is active. He's active. And Njoku, we give up a touchdown to a number one wide receiver every game. So why would that change now? It's all about how do you do it, how you can and again, just like I talked about Myles Garrett, how do you contain Cooper, an Amari Cooper, right? But I would like them to roll coverage, even with Jeudy. Folks know I love Jeudy. Like I'm a Jeudy believer. But I would still it's Amari Cooper. I'm gonna make Jeudy beat me. I'm not letting Amari Cooper beat me. I know I know what Amari Cooper has done to this team.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't hard to see. And Amari's actually been playing okay over the last couple of weeks for this team. So Watson is starting to force feed Amari Cooper the ball. So if that's the case, I'm rolling coverage on Amari Cooper. I'm gonna let Jeudy beat me. I want to see if Watson is good enough to survey the field and say, all right, my number one is gone. Let me go back here and make a good pass. I would definitely do that. You know what I mean? I would take away Amari if I can on passing downs because I feel like Washington's at a point too at the same time where the way their run defense is, they may have to have some extra guys in the box anyway, to be real with you. But if they come to a situation where they're stopping the run with just their normal base set, Yeah, I'm rolling coverage over Amari. Judy and Joku, yeah, try to beat me. Because at the end of the day, like, just Deshaun Watson hasn't shown anything of spreading the football around and giving you a 300-yard type of passing day. So why would I make it? Why would I make life easy for you? Why would I give you an opportunity to easily get Amari situated one-on-one where he can do work? Why would I make that easy for you? You know, it's again, like, especially we're talking about going through your progressions. I'm gonna make it. Once we all know, once your first progression is gone, it's harder for you to complete a pass. It's harder. Not say he can't do it. It's not like look. It ain't like right now. Deshaun Watson ain't C.J. Stroud. He ain't Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't Josh Allen. He ain't Joe Burrow. He ain't one of those dudes. He ain't one of those dudes where he didn't come off in progression and make a good play. He's just not that. He's not that dude. So when dudes aren't open, then yeah, why not? I'm not letting Amari Cooper one-on-one, one of the best route runners in this game, go one-on-one against, say, Mike said, who's going to be on him. That's going to depend. But I'm not. I don't want. I've seen him. I know I've seen St. Juice on Amari. Didn't like it. And we know what Forbes is as a young dude. Though Forbes played better last week, coming back from injury, but I don't want that. Like, I don't want that smoke. I'm gonna hold you. I don't want no one-on-one smoke with them dudes. They gotta get help on them. Both. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, if you see, based on, like Paul said, basically see if Watson can beat us. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's where he's at right now. But when you make it easy for him to go one-on-one, like Amari, because Amari one-on-one against those dudes can get wide open. He can get open. He can get open. He can get, I call it college open. He can get college open one-on-one against those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a route runner. He's not based on, like, speed. His routes will get him open. He's not slow. I mean, Amari ain't slow, but you know what I mean? His routes will get him open. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely roll coverage over. I wouldn't let Amari beat me. I think that's a recipe for failure. If you're like shortchanging him and say, no, we can check him one-on-one. You're not putting yourself in the best situation to be successful. All right, so I talked to Candi about it, but all right, man, could this be the game? Since Noah Brown being out, could this be the Diami game, man? Obviously I root for this kid. Could this be? I know she talked about what's his face? The kid from Stanford that's gonna be called up from the active squad.
Bryson Tremaine.
I know she's talking about Bryson Tremaine, and I think he's more special teams. But if he plays, I mean, he's probably going to see the field because he's a tall wide receiver, and Noah Brown can help that situation out. So I can see that. But I would like this to be a game where Diami gets more snaps. But I think that, to be honest with you, the person that probably get most of the snaps and probably will produce a little bit would be Olamide, because he played well last week too. But do you feel like it's the game for Diami?
It could be. I mean, one thing about it, this quarterback we've got is so good at spreading the ball around that actually I will not be surprised if we get a couple of Bryson Tremaine receptions today. Because it's 8, 9. It feels like it's been 7, 8, 9 guys every week that he's throwing the ball to. But I do think this could be a Diami game because even as good as those corners are, if they have to cover really deep, you can beat just about any corner, even the best ones, really deep. And that's what Diami Brown's known for. It's way down the field, 30, 40, even 50 yards down the field. And I'm hoping we're going to see a few of those deep shots with him today. This could be the day for it. I feel like I've been seeing that a lot. A lot of people saying that on social media this week and in content creation, and I kind of agree with them. I think this could be the week for Diami Brown, especially down the field, because you've got to try to stretch this defense. You've got to try to make these corners cover every blade of grass, because that's going to be the only way to kind of catch them a little bit.
I agree with Paul. There's only one corner I feel like on this team that can get beat deep. Probably be Emerson. Ward is not good. Ward is too good. Like Emerson.
Yeah, Ward
is too good. He's too good. He's not, and I know he's another Ohio State dude. Don't like to talk. I hate talking about it. But he's actually really, really good. Y'all making me Ohio State supporter on the low, because I'm complimenting a lot of Ohio State folks of late, which is nasty work for me. I'm not gonna lie. But if I'm looking at him in terms of NFL, in the NFL, Ward he's one of them. He's a top 5 corner. I'm top 5 corner. But yeah, Emerson's a guy that I think Diami can have some success if you line him up against a mismatch. you have to line him up in a mismatch situation, like against an Emerson. I think he can definitely do work against Emerson. Against Ward, I don't think he can really do work against Ward. I'm gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
As good as good of a deep threat Diami is or has been in college. Well, I'm gonna say college. That's what his record. That was his reputation in college. He had a few splash plays in the league here in the league, but as good as he was in college, he ain't seen no dirt. He ain't seen no Ward like that. So
Yeah.
Mike said, "I believe this game will call play. I believe this game will call plays for Ertz and Luke a lot, especially in the middle. I agree with that. Middle of the field and slants. I agree with that. Luke I think Terrell get a lot of slants. I do think Terrell gets slants.
No, I think that might be the best way to open things up deep early for deep shots is get them trying to cheat a little bit one way or the other.
Yeah.
And look, get Terry some confidence against Ward with those slants. I think that is something. That's something I think that's a good way to get this offense going too. I mean, even if it's just a 7 or 8 yard gain, so what? That puts you in a really good situation. And remember, I remember what Glenn said. Staying ahead of the sticks.
Yeah.
That we get them slants early and we get second and short. This offense is going to do well.
I would see Ward will be hawking Terry. Yeah, I would try. I'll move Terry around. Maybe they'll dictate coverage. I'll move him around. I wouldn't have him just line up on Ward's side. I would definitely try to line him up against Emerson.
Yeah,
that would be my thing. I would take up. That's what I mean. Cowboys do that with CeeDee Lamb. They put him around. So the best, your least favorite corner is checking CJ Lamb. So CeeDee Lamb, excuse me. So yeah, I would do that. I would move Terry around. I would have Denzel Ward on Terry. If I could get him away from Terry, if I was Cliff, I would try to get Terry away from Denzel Ward as much as possible. You know what I mean? Let's see. I would have exactly, Paul. I would have Terry in the slot. I would too. I would have Terry in the slot. You know what I mean? And if he follows him, then you got some type of man coverage where you can finally kind of see how the coverage will get a little bit easier for you if he follows Terry. You know what I mean? So I would definitely have Terry in the slot in this. I would definitely have Terry in the slot. Like I would do that. Like I would definitely have him in the slot. I think he could do major work from the slot. Let's see. All right, so Noah George, let's go because we're running close to time. It's like all right, 12:43. Jesus Christ, we get this done. But no, we talked about Jaden. Jaden has gotten better every week. And
yes.
Which has been awesome, right? To see like a young player every game, week to week, get better. But for you, what element of Jaden's game would you like to see get better this week?
I think it's going to be trying to figure out where Jim Schwartz is going to bring the extra pressure from, and him diagnosing that and either check into a play that can beat that, or changing slightly how we slide the protection, or just. I'm always a fan of moving the pocket, rolling the pocket, either away from a defensive end who's really nasty like Garrett, or away from where you think the blitz is. Because to me, that's one of the ways you beat the blitz. So that's the main thing. Is we've seen how good Daniels is at going through his progressions and making the throws and fitting some throws in some tight windows. Today, you're up against a mad scientist in Jim Schwartz, who, because that secondary is so good and he plays man so much, he can do all kinds of things with pressure and where it's coming from. And that is the challenge for Jaden today. You can't sit here and say it's a final boss because it's only his 5th start and you're going to see more crazy things against certain teams we play. But if he can figure this out today and solve the puzzle today against these guys and consistently move the football, I mean, there's just no telling what this kid can get up to if he can do that today.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that. I didn't think about that, moving the pocket around, talking about in terms of shifting the pocket, seeing what pressure's coming, hot reads, things of that sort. For me, it's just he's gotten better. It's not like when I say this, it's not like he's bad at it. Just quicker into going through his progressions. Just a little quicker. That's all. I think he's getting there. He's going through his progressions, but just a little quicker to a point where he's not he's sure of himself. Because every week he gets sure and sure of himself. But when he gets to once he gets, you just like anything, once you get comfortable, you know what people are supposed to be at. Just like you're talking about in terms of like the pass rush, it's the same thing in the secondary. Like just knowing what these guys are going to do and what they're able to do, kind of get the NFL speed, how corners can kind of react to certain plays. But yeah, once he just get a little quicker in his progressions, I'll be fine with it. You know what I mean? I do think like they're guys, because then it goes from throwing for 200 yards, now getting that, that 300-yard game passing. You know what I mean? Like the low 200, like the low, now from going from averaging passes like around 6 to 7 or 6 yards a pass, you're averaging now like close to 10. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like now, like your yardage per pass is better. Your air yards are better. Like, you know what I mean? So I just feel like going through his progressions a little bit faster. You may see a game where Jane throws with a lot of foot, like 320. You know what I mean? And now we're talking about something else rather than like, oh man, he's got this rushing touchdown, percentage or whatnot. Because a lot of the percentage throws, a lot of those throws aren't like some of like they're like what I like about Jayden is Jayden doesn't take that many risks. I do like that.
No, he has not put the ball in danger much.
Yeah, so which I love about him. So, but now he can make those plays that aren't risky, but for him, he may look at it risky because it's a little bit further out. But for him, once he gets comfortable, it ain't gonna be a risky play. Like once he start making those like plays a little bit more often, I feel like you like that's to me his next progression. Like, and I think obviously I don't know if it's gonna be this game because this Brown defense is a little different. But if it is, I think that's the progression I would like to see from him.
And remember, we talked about it during the week. In terms of passing percentage for first downs, he's second in first down passing percentage. 42% of the time he throws a pass that results in a first down. So he has been able to figure out, get the ball to guys like Ertz, Eckler out of the backfield, and even Luke McCaffrey, some of these other receivers, and keep us in front of the sticks, keep the chains moving. So I mean that to me is going to be the challenge today, is that maybe he has to take a lot more short stuff, a lot more check down stuff because of the pressure, and that's how we end up having to move it today. It's not my preference, but that may very well be what has to happen.
Well, I mean, we move it. I mean, like the key to all that is like for him, it's been like the running game. Being third and manageable, like and with his run and with his legs too as well. Like, him and third and short is almost damn near impossible to stop. That's my opinion. So, he gets out of, what I do like is him and this team and, Cliff. It's a combination of both. They get the third. If they do get the third down, it's third and manageable.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't even see third down, to be honest with you, because they get their first down. Sometimes they get it on second down. Like, I think it's a wild stat where they don't see a lot of third downs because they get their first downs. Like they may get.
But they've been very efficient on third downs when they have.
Yeah, when they have. But again, because third and short, you're doing third and short. You're not third and long. They're putting themselves out of third and long. So, he's been getting better every week. So I just that would be for me. That would be the next thing. Or I guess to really even for more of a layman's approach to it, throw for 3+, throw for 300 yards. That's the most easiest way to say it. Throw for 300 yards. He throws for 300 yards. That's the next stepping stone for him. I feel, but look, man, Jay got the city on fire, man. So the area, I only like to say the city because they play in
the region, the
region. They got the DMV on fire. You know what I mean? So that makes it definitely dope. Paul said, our offense works of the jab and big shots come later in the game. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that boxing comparison. Yes, I think there's a lot to that.
Yeah, we got a lot of jabs. We jab a lot. We jab heavy. I'm cool with that though. I think there's never look, the West Coast offense is built off being jab heavy.
Yep.
Growing up, if you watch Joe Montana and Steve Young when they used to run that West Coast offense, it was a bunch of jabs, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. Young Tom Brady. Brady is like that. He will nickel or dime you to death.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's not a knock. That's just, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't gonna hold you. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So George, man, Candi gave us her keys for Commanders victory. Bruh, your keys for Commanders victory.
I think the biggest key is we do not want to we don't want to have another addition to the Myles Garrett highlight reel, which is a very long highlight reel at this point in his career. We don't want to see him constantly knocking Jaden Daniels down, knocking the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands, these kinds of things. I mean, that team is struggling. They have a lot of talent on defense, but really, even if he's injured, Myles Garrett is still the boogeyman for that team, either side of the ball. Cooper is too, to a degree, but for me, it's Myles Garrett. We've got to at least contain him a little bit, get the double teams on him, get the tight ends or the running backs chipping him a little bit, see if you can get him frustrated, because every now and then he'll lose it on the field and, get a personal foul or two because he's mad, that kind of thing. So that to me is the big thing, and the other thing's going to be kind of actually, you know what? I'll save that for the fantasy player because I know we got to do the fantasy player. I want to talk about it then.
All right. So for me, you run the football. It's always the key for this team. Glenn ain't here, so I'm gonna take his approach. Run the football. You got Eckler and B-Rob, so you got that tandem back today. So it's, and if you need to, if somebody's not really feeling like vibing themselves, they ain't feeling the best, you got McNichols. So you got another guy that who played well against the Bengals. I mean, against the Bengals, played well against the Cardinals. So I think run the football, man. Your goal is probably to get about on the ground with your quarterback. Let's say your quarterback, your two backs. Get roughly over 150 to 200 to over about 150 or even more, 150 plus yardage on the ground. I think that's a good recipe to win this football game. This team is like super. This team has put themselves in a situation where they play football and they're aggressive. Their style of ball control. Because like Paul said, like they win time of possession because they're like methodical. They're not getting the big play. They're methodical, and they do that. I feel like that's their recipe for success. You keep your defense off the field for most of the time. You keep their offense off the field. I mean, I ain't the greatest offense, but still, you're keeping that offense off the field. And you're keeping their defense on the field long, which means you're going to tire out that defense. I mentioned that's why I referenced the Cowboys game. You watched that Cowboys game. It wasn't like the defense was horrible, but their offense was so bad and whatnot that defense was on the field for a long period of time. Well, Washington's offenses work a little differently. They're so methodical that they'll tire out your defense. And then you got a guy like B-Rob, who's a physical runner, and not a lot of people want to keep tackling B-Rob because he's a physical guy. So, like, it kind of that identity bodes well for this team. So I think they do that, keep them off the field. And then, obviously my second key would be put pressure on I mentioned it earlier, but put pressure on Deshaun. Constant pressure. You know what I mean? Some guys react good to pressure. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say like put pressure on Lamar Jackson like that, because like Lamar can get away from it. He's kind of used to pressure, right? Even as a Joe Burrow, who's a pocket passer, like you better be careful what pressure you bring to him, because if he gets time, he'll dissect it. As we saw against the Bengals on Monday night. When they did bring pressure, he saw Jamar Chase 1-on-1. Boom.
That's where it was going.
His recognition, he knows he has play recognition. It's there. So, so it's not like I'm saying like obviously you get pressure on every quarterback, but there's certain quarterbacks you gotta play the game with. I wouldn't play that game with Deshaun Watson. I would come after him early and often. I wouldn't even play. To me, I don't think he's dissecting it quick enough right now. My man Mike said, we got to get a lot of misdirection plays on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of bootlegs and trap plays and counters in the run game. I think absolutely.
Let's see. Mike said, Cosby got to stay away from penalties. Yeah, Cosby's. You talking about a guy who got a mean streak? That's a guy with a mean streak.
That's one thing. First 2 games, a lot of penalties. Last 2 games, not at all. Not hardly at all. They've done a really great job at being more disciplined. So that'll be interesting to see if that continues, because, I mean, that was shocking on Monday night. No penalties until the fourth quarter. I think they only had 3 or 4 last week. Might not have been that many. They've done a really good job on that the last 2 weeks.
Facts. All right, George, everybody's being real premature, so I'm going to do it anyway. Give me your prediction.
All right. I was thinking, and I still kind of thinking low-scoring game, but I do think this defense is going to score a touchdown. So I went for Washington 24, Cleveland 13. I can see this game being close, but I think they're going to make a big play in the fourth quarter to get the lead, and then the defense gets a late touchdown to seal it.
You guys think that's good? You guys think I'm going to change up? Change up? Why? It's working. Why would I change up?
He's putting a good juju on it, baby.
Yeah, why would I change up? Man, watch the Browns 27, Washington 24.
Okay.
Not even changing up. I'm not going to change up. Why would I do
Yeah.
that? We've been winning. Why would I do that? Yeah, Mike. Why we winning? Why would I change up? Why would I change up, Mike? We winning. Excuse my voice, man. I've been screaming. I was screaming yesterday because my nephew's football game. He was killing.
Oh.
Paul says Commanders 27-10. So I know defense scores a touchdown like you just.
Yeah, you're on the same wavelength, Paul. Yeah.
Mike 31-17 Washington.
Well, I'm going to do the same thing I did with Paul last week, Mike. If this team scores 31, we'll be having a party in here in about 3 hours from now. Three and a half hours. We will be having a party in here. Let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying. We don't need to ruin. We don't got. Look, we got a good thing going. Why would I want to change up?
Yeah.
Look, when they start if that happens, I'm not even saying that word. If that happens, then I'll change back. I'll change back up to give you what I really think. But right now, every game's an L. It's gonna hurt me it's gonna hurt me. They go for a while and they play the Cowboys, and that's the one I kind of have to. Wally, you're not invited. What am I not invited to, man? What am I not invited to? The party. The party.
Wole is trying to keep the good forces going. That's what he's trying to do here.
Doing it for the team, and you acting mad at me, Mike.
Yeah, he feels Mike, like
if I go the other way and something bad happens, what you gonna say? What you gonna say, Mike? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Paul, we got Greg Olsen. We got Greg Olsen doing the game.
Okay. That's good. I'm still mad that it's not on down here at 1 o'clock because I think it's their national game at 1 or one of their national games at 1. So I was kind of hoping with no NFC South teams playing in this window we would get it. But yeah.
I'm a double agent. Nah, man. Well, we need support. I support. This is support. What you talking about? Paul, I'm a double agent. Dude, I believe in forces you don't believe in. Sorry. I believe in forces you don't believe in. Well, we need it. We need to. Oh, no, we don't. I mean, you know what? You do need my support. I'm giving it to you. Do you understand what I'm doing? Do you not understand? You're killing me. You're killing me, man. I'm out here working hard for y'all. Y'all out here look, I got people dragging me on social media when Doug does his picks and they see my name pick somebody else, and I'm getting dragged on social media. I'm like, you don't understand what I'm doing? He's
doing it for the culture, man.
I'm doing it for the cause, man.
Yes.
I'm doing it for the cause.
Yes.
Terrible, bro. And look at y'all trying to drag me here. Y'all supposed to be my homies out here too. I get like that. I get like.
And don't you understand what he went through? That. Did you see the Wolverines last night? Don't you understand what this man's going through?
We ain't talking about that. Look, we ain't talking about that. Look, all right. I'm doing it for y'all. I get
right.
X, you know what I'm saying? I get X. Them folks don't know me. They ain't shooting in the gym with me. Y'all be here with me. Y'all be shooting in the gym with me. Y'all should know me by now, man. Terrible, man. Terrible. Just terrible. All right. Mike said we gonna put Jamin Davis as well as facing. Hey, Mike, chill. Hey, give me your Joe. The game about to start. Give me your fantasy football player.
Okay, my fantasy football player today is Austin Eckler. I think a lot of balls out of the backfield. You know, a lot of maybe check downs to avoid getting sacked. He's ran well. He's been big in the kick return game. I kind of think this is, and we don't know how healthy B-Rob is. We know he's playing. I feel like today's a big day for Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jaden's too easy. I ain't doing that. I'm going to Commanders defense.
There you go.
I'm going to Commanders.
I mean, I think they're going to score touchdowns. So I'm with you on that.
I think this is going to be their best defensive game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See how I contradict myself, y'all? You see see who I'm working with? I got the Commanders defense. You see, if you listen to me, you know who I think's gonna see. Y'all gotta work with me. If you listen to what I'm saying,
that's right.
It's not hard to kind of pick out what I really think. You know what I mean? The running game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you're wilding, man. Don't let the mirage fool you, bro. Look, don't let it fool you. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, this has been a great show. Appreciate all y'all from chiming in the chat. I'm gonna watch this game. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm really excited about this game because I know I can talk a lot of trash after the fact. Because I can be a real big troll when need be. You know what I'm saying? That's just my life. Hey, anyway, before we close the show, don't forget to tune into our post-game show directly after the game. We'll be on our YouTube and IG live feeds, live streams. We'll also be streaming on the Urban Sports Scene X account as well. Let me read also a couple more particulars. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything and hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. Again, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all on YouTube, I'm gonna keep saying this. Hey, man, hit that red subscribe button. If you're on YouTube for the first time, hit it. And, hit that red subscribe button and like this video, man. We try to get to 500. We're getting there. We're getting close. So get us to 500. Hey, yeah, I'm about to drink some tea. You heard my voice? Yeah, that thing cracking, bro. Like, my nephew had me going. I ain't gonna hold you, man. My nephew was killing, bro. He had like an 80-yard run. Oh, kill that thing. Looking like freaking Adrian Peterson out there, man. Running high. Killing the game, bro.
Uncle Ole was like, I taught him everything he knew.
Nah, I can't run like that. He got better football instincts now. If he's playing basketball, it'd be something totally different. But his football instincts is crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, yeah, I had to go visit him after because I had to go somewhere. I had to be outside. Y'all know I be outside, so I had to be outside. Then I had to go back visit him and tell him congratulations on his game. Because I did a lot this weekend too. That too. I did a lot this weekend. I do too much in life. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. Yedig deuces. Hey, mob is out.